Party is looking into allegations of foreign interference into Ruby Dalla's campaign. Is that something that has been brought to your attention as Public Safety Minister?
No, it's not. I really have no insight or comment on that. That's a question for the Liberal Party of Canada.
And has SITE brought anything to your attention about any allegations of foreign
interference? Not aware of any of this. I would take that up with the Liberal Party of Canada.
And any candidates has it been brought to your attention?
But the only thing I've been made aware of is the original, forgive me, the comments made by SITE. I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago with respect to one of the candidates. I'm not aware of this. Thank you.
You used the phrase, the government used the phrase IMVE, ideologically motivated violent extremism, for quite a while now. And one of the things that used to make a group a candidate for the terror list was an ideological or a political motivation or a religious motivation. These groups don't seem to have that. So are we redefining terrorism now?
No, what we're doing today is relying on the work of our expert intelligence and security agencies who monitor the activities of different groups in the Canadian context on an ongoing basis. And on the basis of the evidence, on the basis of the intelligence, and on the basis of the law, as determined in the process that's set up in the criminal code, those intelligence and security agencies have given me assurances, and I have relied on it in recommending the listing of these groups under the criminal code. So I would say that the definition of IMV or other actors in this space hasn't changed. I would say that this is a specific decision around listing that reflects the seriousness of the disruption that these groups exercise in Canadian communities. These are ruthless, transnational criminal organizations, and so as a result of their advice to me, we've proceeded with the listing.
The same can be said, though, of groups like the Hells Angels, the Italian Mafia, the Ndrangheta. They don't seem to be on the list.
I would say to you that our expert intelligence and security organizations are monitoring these things on an ongoing basis. And if they have additional information they want to impart to me, we would be pleased to receive it.
The Americans seem to put similar cartels on a similar list today. Was this done in coordination with the Americans?
Canada is a sovereign and independent country. We are taking sovereign and independent decisions, and the decision to list is a sovereign and independent one. This is about keeping our community safe. I would dare say now that a strong border is contributing to safer communities. I met, for example, with a senior police chief just yesterday in Toronto. Had a chance to see some of the CBSA facilities with commercial operations. It's clear now that what's happening at our border, what's happening with some of the measures we're announcing today, these listings, are going to contribute positively to keeping our community safe.
So is it just a coincidence that at 11:45 we've got a thing here from the State Department? They named a bunch of the same organizations we've named as terrorist entities. This is just a surprise that we're both doing the same thing at the same time?
You're bringing that to my attention for the first time. I wasn't aware they were listing at 11:45. We're moving forward. We're doing what we have to do.
And President Trump today referred to Canada.
Let me just also say this. We can't tackle these challenges unless we tackle them together. Right? This is part and parcel of our border plan. We're connected. This is our largest trading partner, our largest neighbor, our largest, most trusted ally over 150 plus years. So we're not going to wrestle, we can't wrestle the fentanyl crisis to the ground alone. Neither can the Americans. So the fact, for example, that we are creating a joint strike force in Canada and between our countries to deal with the fentanyl crisis and to wrestle to the ground indicates the level of integration. And as the Commissioner can speak to in great detail, the cooperation that's going on now between our two countries is close, as it should be, because it's ravaging both American and Canadian communities.
President Trump today referred to Canada again as the 51st state and called the Prime Minister, Governor Trudeau, when he was tweeting about tonight's hockey game. Does that kind of rhetoric make it difficult when you're talking about having this cooperation?
It sounds like President Trump's worried about the outcome of the hockey game tonight.
If you have any serious
Look, this discussion of 51st state. Canada is a sovereign and independent country, has been for over 150 years, and will remain so. It will always be so. This discussion of 51st state is a non-starter. We acknowledge acknowledge the concerns that have been brought to our attention by a new administration, and we're working hand in glove to try to wrestle them to the ground. And that's what we're doing. Strong Canadian.
All right, listening to David McGuinty, he is the Trudeau government's public safety minister, talking about how a number of groups will now be designated terrorist organizations. 7 criminal organizations, including drug cartels, will be listed as terror groups. That is part of what the Trump administration had asked, and the Trudeau government agreed to designate these groups as terror groups. And you see as well the head of the RCMP. All right, we're going to keep our eye on what's going on there with David McGuinty.